What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and the Carmelo Anthony case has taken kind of a dark turn here, and it's really sad to see as now the twin brother of Austin Metcalf is receiving just horrible stuff. And I know a lot of people don't care for his dad, but I understand why. He seems to be capitulating to kind of the mainstream media narrative, and he seems to be a little bit of a beta male. That said, his other son is on the receiving end of some just truly terrible behavior, as well as a whole bunch of other updates that really nobody out there is covering. And if you enjoy my coverage of this, I hope that you'll leave a like on this video right now, and all my videos, really. And if you haven't yet, subscribe or follow down below so you don't miss a single update. Let's get into some of these stories. I do want to remind everybody this video is sponsored by me. I know everybody and their brother has a coffee company that they just drop ship garbage that they don't really invest any time or money into. Well, ours is different. And I just want to let you know our entire K-Cup line is available on Amazon right now, and I would like really to ask for you to give it a try. We have two brand new flavors not available anywhere else, orange tangerine and cherry. These are our spring flavors. They're for a limited time. Give them a try today, and the butterscotch toffee too. If you don't like it, I'll give you your money back happily. And also don't forget, the Mother's Day gift box, which you can also find on Amazon. Both will be linked in the description below. We're up to 141 reviews. Really, really hoping to get that up to 200 today. So after you get yours, please come back, scroll down, and leave a review. Take care of your mother, girlfriend, wife today with one of our gift boxes. It helps the channel immensely. And if you're not in the market for that, try some of our K-Cups or our whole bean or ground, which is all available on that website. Now, TMZ has now reported that the Carmelo Anthony family has fled their home, which we already knew, but I thought this little anecdote was pretty funny. TMZ reports the Anthony family have left their rental home in a majority Asian and walled and gated community, claiming that it's too dangerous. Now, we don't know where he moved, but I'm going to guess that it's something like a Four Seasons. It's some sort of even better house. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe they moved into a little bit of a condo or something like that. I don't know. But also, they have received now, based on their own admissions, the $500,000, and they're getting right to spending it. Local media has reported now that the victim's family has now been swatted not once, not twice, but again yesterday, so a total of 3 times. So the family of his victim is actually truly under attack. And as far as I know, somebody mailed him an Austin Metcalf obituary, hypothetically, with no evidence. So, I mean, it's really interesting how, again, they continue to try and paint him as a sympathetic figure who didn't do nothing. Also in the news, it's pretty curious, but his family has finally gotten the hint. Have you noticed no more press conferences? Have you noticed no more stories leaked to the media after most of these stories about, Carmelo being the real victim here? Look, this kid's life is, one kid is never coming back. The other kid, God willing, will spend the next 30 years in prison. I suspect he will not spend even 30 days in prison, but that's my own speculation. The whole thing is tragic all around. 2 fathers and mothers are about to, one lost their son forever. Another is about to potentially lose their son. And only one family continues to be under siege, as the twin brother of Austin Metcalf are now receiving threats on his life by Carmelo Anthony supporters. Why? Don't know. Here you see the Metcalf family just buried their teenage son, but that was just the start of their nightmare. Austin's twin brother held him in his arms as he passed away, and now BLM activists are making credible threats against him. His father lost his job, and both of his parents' homes have been swatted repeatedly. This is, by the way, again, I hear you in the comments. this is the thanks for, this is the thanks Jeffrey Metcalf is getting for trying to bend the knee and try to remain unbiased. I mean, in terms of, you know, criticism of the black community, this guy has done nothing but worship it since, they took his son's life. And the fact that he's still getting this level of hate and attacks is wild. And what does his brother have to do with any of it? This is according to Amuse, who many say he has connections with Austin Metcalf's father. He says, talk to the coward father and ask him why he defends the Karmelo over his own son. Amuse says, I did, and he doesn't. He wants Anthony to go to jail for the rest of his life. Very interesting bit of finally seeing a spine grow there from Austin Metcalf's dad. You see this again, Dominic Michael Tripley repackages that piece of information. Father of slain teen Austin Metcalf, Jeff Metcalf, privately saying he hopes Karmelo Anthony is convicted and sentenced to life in prison. I can tell you this right now, he's not getting life in prison. Just put that out of your mind. Not going to happen. I mean, people that do worse crimes don't even get life in prison. What he's probably going to get, I'm going to guess, is a manslaughter charge with basically the minimum sentence, and he'll be quietly released within a year or two. That's what I think is going to happen. Maybe it's because I'm kind of really black-pilled on the United States justice system after what I believe was an insane conviction of Derek Chauvin over public pressure. That same public pressure is not going to be there to convict Karmelo Anthony of the charge that he deserves to be convicted of. In fact, that pressure will be still there to not convict him of the toughest crime and to give him a lighter sentence. We already know the judge, who's apparently a fake conservative, who will be deciding the sentencing of this case, is sympathetic simply because they have the same skin colors. Now, that would be wrong if it was a white judge and a white defendant, and it's wrong when it's a black judge and a black defendant. But that's exactly what's happening in this case. Any idiot can see that's the case. What we do know now is the father is starting to get a lot of public pressure. But here you have the Dallas Morning News. Frisco tragedy is being exploited by social media and worse. Well, you write articles on the internet. I read articles on the internet. How are we any different? Oh, it's because I don't pretend to be the morally righteous one here. You see, the nightmare started when Austin Metcalf was lost. Almost instantly, rumors began swirling about the motives and the backgrounds of both the victim and the suspect. Because the victim was white and the suspect is black, some sleazy figures have tried to portray this incident as racially motivated without any evidence. Now, I haven't, and I have not seen anybody, I'm sure somebody has tweeted this, but I have not seen any major narrative around exactly what the motivation here was outside of poor impulse control and hip-hop culture. I have not seen a single newspaper say that Karmelo Anthony did what he did because Austin Metcalf was white. I'm asking the Dallas Morning News, who is implying that there's this huge narrative that it was racially motivated. I would like them to source literally anybody other than just saying this. But they're here to defend Karmelo and paint him as a sympathetic figure. Political wannabes took advantage of the terrible pain, and too many are tuning in. Why wouldn't people be interested in this case? Did you say that too many people were tuned into the Derek Chauvin case? You know what I mean? I have a real suspicion on who wrote this article. But they didn't even put their name on it. What a coincidence. What a coincidence. The cesspool of bad behavior is bottomless. This is our world now. Saturday, a supremacist running for U.S. Senate in Florida had a minimally attended Protect White Americans rally in Frisco. The man, Jake Lane, faced charges back on J6, but received a presidential pardon before going to trial. So you yourself even said that it was sparsely attended. So what are you exactly worried about? Are you worried about people are getting a little tired of, this narrative? By the way, this was a very interesting tidbit too. Amuse apparently is down there or has connections with the family, and wrote updated about the cell phone footage, because apparently there's some sort of bombshell cell phone footage. We talked about, the police confiscating 70 cell phones. Now, there may have been cell phone footage after the fact. That would just be kind of disrespectful to Austin. But here they said, how are they hiding the cell phone footage is out there? We need to stand up for this family. Karmelo Anthony's family is pushing them not to release it before the trial. They worry it will help jurors understand that their son is actually a cold-blooded killer. I mean, yeah, I would suspect that's how they would react. You see here, what you might not know is that they're threatening to take Austin's twin brother. He was trying to calm things down. We'll see. We'll see if that's true. The fact that Jeff Metcalf privately hopes that he goes to prison for life, I would argue that, look, he's under no obligation to say anything publicly, but it sure would be nice to see this guy have some kind of spine for his son. But to be fair, he doesn't owe us anything. He doesn't own the online community sound bites to report on, or social media people to report on. He owes his son, his surviving son, 100% of his attention. We see this too. Now Daniel Penny's lawyer is chiming in because they're trying to say it's the same thing, when of course it wasn't. Over the weekend, demonstrators with a group of Protect White Americans gathered at the stadium in Frisco. A wall of officers separated about 3 protesters from about 30 counter-protesters. Anthony allegedly told investigators that it was self-defense. It clearly wasn't. We know that the family's playing the victim. Attorney Thomas Kenneth, who famously represented Daniel Penny, called for respect in Anthony's case. Kenneth, who's not representing the teen suspect, compared the hateful rhetoric Anthony's case is generating to that of Penny before saying the public, including officials, prejudged his client's guilt. There was certainly some incendiary rhetoric directed at Daniel Penny, his legal representatives, including myself. There were a lot of people in Mr. Penny's case, sadly, all including elected officials, who take an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States, which encompass the presumption of innocence, that rashly prejudged my client's guilt. So what happened in the Daniel Penny case. It may be happening in the Karmelo Anthony case. I don't think it's right. Why is he stepping up to defend Karmelo Anthony? Kniff supported Anthony's right to self-defense, which he argued is an inherent right. I'm not exactly sure you could call what happened self-defense. So this is another scumbag lawyer. Apparently did a good job with Daniel Penny, but by and large is relatively worthless. I will continue to cover this story as long as you stay interested. Please make sure to leave a like on the video. If you haven't yet, subscribe or follow down below. Don't forget, try a box of our K-Cups today. They're on sale on Amazon, free shipping. All the other guys out there just drop ship their coffee. I'm trying to start like an actual brand. We've been around for 3 years now. We're trying to get into grocery stores. Our first step to that is crushing it on Amazon. Pick some up today. Links in the description. We'll talk to you again real soon.